I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game, not a game.
Me. Bam, bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
We talking about sports. I mean, what we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.
Man, I don't think I've ever seen anything happen like what happened yesterday in the sports world with so many games canceled all at once. So it's crazy because I'd already put in my bet for the Bucks versus Magic, and then I just hear all of a sudden that the Bucks didn't want to come out of the locker room, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And then of course you hear that they're protesting. So no, that was just a weird way to kick off the day, and then you see everything else kind of just trickle down. I don't know. It's just weird.
Not the situation that I would have thought yesterday. Personally, just being a fan, I was ready for that game, game 5, 2-2 going in, Oklahoma and Houston, and then I'm waiting for the Bucks to go on, and you're just like, hey, nobody on the court but the Magic. What's going on there?
They got scared.
Day for sports.
They didn't want that heat with Nikola Vucevic.
The thing is, at the end of the day, the Bucks did a good job for the world, for advancing, for equality. What they did was get the casuals talking about this conversation. The people who are political pundits will always talk about the things in politics, but they got the people of the world talking about it now. People who don't normally follow situations like that. I think they did their job by sitting out.
I agree. Last night it was madness on pretty much all social media platforms. I mean, you had everybody, people, on both sides of the fence with the players deciding to sit out. You had people sitting on their privileged side, and then you had people like, I'm glad that they did it as well. But it got everybody talking, man. Like you said, the casuals, even people who really don't watch NBA but heard that the players were taking a stance, it opened up conversations. I know I had two, good conversations yesterday, two different groups of people. So after all that happened, I think it's good. Quick turnaround, I guess. It was just, a couple of days, and today they came to the conclusion that I guess that they are going to resume. It hasn't been said whether it's Friday or Saturday yet.
It's looking like Saturday.
Saturday, okay. Yeah.
And you saw the NHL follow suit today. The NHL played all of their games yesterday. Today, they canceled both of the games that they had. And
baseball went off today.
Yeah, baseball went off. Some games got postponed in baseball yesterday. Maybe just one or two.
He's followed suit. It was MLB, NBA, WNBA, and NHL.
And the MLS. The MLS game as well.
MLS was the fourth one.
Yeah. So, it's cool. It's got everybody talking. It's bringing awareness. Like I said, it's opening conversations. And
shout out Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday on our live. I gave my apologies to Kyrie. Said he's looking like the genius now. Obviously, the season is going to continue, but the point was made, and it was kind of following his lead from prior to the bubble. So hopefully things change. I don't know that they would just say, yeah, we're coming back without something being promised. I'm not sure, but we heard about the Bucks trying to have the I believe it was DA in Wisconsin on the line.
Yeah, in the locker room.
In the locker room, right? When they stayed in there instead of not going to the out to the floor to play their game. So
yeah, and I thought it was kind of weird too yesterday with the conflicting reports surrounding the Lakers and the Clippers. How apparently LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard were the two guys that were saying that they didn't want the season to go on, and then you heard a report today that LeBron didn't say a peep, or he didn't say a word in the meeting that went down yesterday. And then you hear stuff about Patrick Beverley going at Chris Paul and the leadership for the union. So just a lot of crazy things coming out of those two camps, especially considering those two teams are probably the favorites to win it all right now. So
And Roland, even
Kinda weird.
you shared on Instagram. You sent a post that said that LeBron and Kawhi were very vocal in the meeting,
Yeah, and Damon Lillard talked
and
cap.
Dame Lillard commented like, "Yo, where'd you get your info?" So the reports coming out today that they were quiet make more sense to me because of how bad LeBron wanted to come back.
Yeah.
Although he did send out that tweet, but with Damian Lillard's comment, it kind of gave you the assurance, like somebody in the room was calling it cap, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
So who did you think? I mean, obviously they said that they were split, right? But the greater powers won on the comeback. You think there was people who wanted a dead the whole season?
I'm pretty sure there were people that wanted to dead the whole season. I mean, just to truly bring attention to what's going on, and just hey, there's no more basketball, like because we're protesting and we're doing this thing,
Right.
But I think the majority probably wanted to come back and play because I mean they're already there. You got some teams and some pretty heated series right now that we're going to get into later on in the podcast, and then of course you got LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, the two of the best players in the NBA that have the best chance to win right now. I'm pretty sure, even though those reports came out last night that they were talking and making a making a scene, or not making a scene, but just being the ones that didn't want to play.
Right.
And the conflicting reports today, I agree with you, Ben. I pretty much agree that they were probably quiet, and that's the story that I believe. So with that being said, I'm pretty sure they wanted the season to come back. I know LeBron from the very beginning was probably the number one player that wanted this whole thing to go down. So yeah, I think the powers prevailed, and I think LeBron was one of those guys that that wanted the season going, and probably Chris Paul too. I mean, he's the player union leader. And I mean, he's a competitive guy. He's in a tough series right now with the Rockets. I think he wants to see the season come out too. So
yeah, he's got something to prove, man. Because if he can win that series, and like you said, we're going to get into it later. But right now, we traded Chris Paul and picks for Westbrook, and Westbrook hasn't been available. We got rid of Chris Paul because of his availability issues.
Mm-hmm.
How it stung us in that Warriors series, and now it just sucks that Chris Paul's out. And CP3 is doing this thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, didn't he hit the game clincher?
He's got something to prove. He hit the like one to put him up 3 possessions when they were up 2, like within the final minute.
Right over Harden. Yeah, that was a nice little pull up.
He's been working, that mid range. But I mean, Russ was coming back. Russ was coming back yesterday in that game.
Yeah, I saw Russ getting into it with like Dennis Schroeder and Steven Adams on the side. Like he wasn't even playing, and he's causing a ruckus. I love Russ.
Yeah, he was going to play yesterday. Like we were talking about it yesterday, but I saw him come out of that meeting with Chris Paul because they were the two that met to decide whether the teams were going to play or not.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I mean, whatever. We have 2 stars, but they weren't going to send Harden to meet with Chris Paul.
Oh no!
I thought that was funny as hell. I thought that was pretty funny too.
There's no way in hell. I mean, I'm sure Harden hasn't said a word to him. There was a pretty funny clip of Chris Paul talking crap about James Harden, like right behind him to the referee. I guess he was just talking about him flopping or something like that, and it was pretty. It just
playing those mind games.
Always, man, always. I mean, Chris Paul's one of the slickest guys when it comes to that. Like, I still remember that clip of him, I guess, calling out Karl Anthony Towns for having his shirt untucked.
Yeah.
which led to the Thunder getting like game-winning free throws.
Yeah, petty, bro, just petty.
Definitely think that the teams wanted to play though. Doc Rivers said it best when he said in that interview the other night that this is an opportunity for them to show black excellence. Show what it is to be somebody in that community and be excellent at their jobs. So they want to do their jobs and do their jobs right. And I think because of that, I think this is an opportunity for them to come back and say, hey, we used our platform. We stepped out of the limelight for a minute to see how can we continue to use our platform in a bigger way. But I think the overwhelming majority, from the looks of it, they wanted to come back. I mean, you had reports early saying most of the teams were in favor of it. I'm not sure if we'll ever get to hear who wasn't, or who was part of that situation that wasn't.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see how how the NFL reacts and how any of their players come out. I know it's a little bit early, and they've had this thing where they're canceling practices across not the preseason, but across training camps and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see if anybody in the NFL, like if this problem persists, which, I mean, we're coming up into an election year, so it's going to be talked about a lot, especially as we get to the November month. But, I mean, NFL's right around the corner. They're starting September 10th. We're going to get to a little bit of NFL
14
talk
days,
later on, too.
14 days away. We actually, Roland Leo had a question about that. He said, do you think it trickles over into the NFL yesterday when we were on the live?
I think it could.
And we brought him on to talk about it, and we came to the conclusion that the first game of the season is Texans and Chiefs. So that's Mahomes and Watson, two young guys who are the face of the league, both African Americans. And if they wanted to make a statement,
if Mahomes bought into that,
those would probably be the two guys that could get away with making that statement. As far as those two quarterbacks,
Mahomes for sure, and Watson pretty sure too. But yeah, Mahomes.
They're two guys that they're pushing to be the face of the NFL for the years to come. They're the two guys. They're going to be in the top 5 for the next 10 years.
Stop trying to group Watson right there with Mahomes.
Bro, I'm saying they're the face of the league for the future. And if they wanted to make
there's a face. A face is singular. The face of the league is Mahomes.
There's one guy.
Stop trying to do that.
Who's the face of the NBA?
The face of the NBA right now is still LeBron James.
Okay, so Giannis is nothing. All right.
I'm not saying he's nothing.
No. Stop trying to put him on the wrong level. There's one face. There's always
one face.
All right, that's it. It's not the back-to-back MVP. It's LeBron. We got it. All right.
Just a face.
Fair enough. It doesn't make.
LeBron drives that NBA.
Super Bowl winner. Yeah. Exactly.
The one in behind the wheel of the train.
The point being, it's going to take both teams. You saw teams actually that were bothered. I want to say bothered. Maybe it's not the right word, but that the Bucks didn't talk about their plan with everybody else.
Yeah, they just went ahead and did it.
They kind of just forced.
Want to be included. They support the same cause, and if you feel like you're not being included, you're going to feel a certain way. That too, Justin. But then, like you said, that series with the Rockets and the Thunder, like they were out there shooting already pregame. Guys are getting locked in, and then they see something go down. And if Giannis didn't play, the president of the Players Association isn't going to play after that, bro. I mean, that's pretty obvious. So there was no choice for Chris Paul after the Bucks sat out because it's not a good the hand, and that's okay.
Exactly. No, I know, but I'm saying that's why they were saying that several teams. I don't know if bothered is the word, but surprised because everybody else was talking about it and agreeing with it mutually. So
maybe roll words better perturbed. I think.
Perturbed.
Yeah, just a little ticked. I mean, you just want to communicate with your fellow employees, your fellow fellow people, fellow union members
on the same level.
At least let the president.
Yeah, I mean, I might feel a type of way too, though. I mean, if I were one of those players that was gearing up to play a game like the Rockets and the Thunder, like, hey, I showed up to play a basketball game. Like, come on, at least let me get my.
Ready to go.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they weren't planning on doing that. Like, at least have a unified effort, like Ben's trying to say. I get what he's saying. But yeah, I would feel a type of way a little bit. But at the end of the day, I mean, there's a greater cause. I mean, I'm glad everybody followed suit. But yeah,
at the end of the day, like you're saying, Roland, if the Bucks would have called people and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this," who's gonna stop them? Who's gonna say,
right? Nobody was, but the heads up would have been better. Right, but the heads up. At least tell Chris Paul, the president of the Players Association. You know what I mean?
Then Chris Paul can do what he does.
The Rockets had Russ out, questionable, and game time. Like shit was intense yesterday, bro.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's so weird though. Like we were all gearing up for the games, and then all of a sudden, it's just like everything's canceled. So.
I got home, and it was like it was just the referees on the court, and they said the Bucks are refusing to come out, and whoa.
Well, shout out to the Magic though. They didn't accept the forfeit. I mean,
true. Another good point. It could have been a 3-2 series, and
I might have taken the forfeit.
Yo, imagine how. I mean, I know a lot of people. A lot of people probably had the series play a 4-0 because everybody expected it to be a sweep. Yeah. But imagine people who had 4-1 and they take the forfeit and it's 3-2. That's wild.
People had the thing in 5, right? Like,
or Bucks in 5 or less. Like they have a lot of options.
But yeah, shout out to the Magic for not taking that and kind of just solidifying it for sure.
Because they would have probably ran with the punches too had the Bucks just informed them before. So, I mean, it's all good. Groundbreaking day for sports yesterday, though, bro. I think this will be remembered for a long time, the way that it was ran through multiple sports, maybe not all games canceled, but every sport had at least one team take a part in what happened yesterday. So
For
crazy,
sure.
crazy.
This definitely
2020,
will be in the almanacs of sports
yeah.
history.
2020 has been wild.
Hmm.
What a year. All right, guys, we're talking about sports. This is episode number 16. We're somewhat of a
17,
weekly
17,
17. Oh
17.
my,
17.
we're a weekly podcast. We talk about sports, mostly the major American sports, but we'll do dabble in soccer. We talk a lot about MMA. Um, so we're here to, you know, to appease y'all on that situation. And
Yeah.
the first thing we want to talk about is some NBA quick hitters. Yesterday, to this morning, Michael Jordan was one of the persons who was like a liaison from the players and the coaches to the whole staff as far as getting on board and getting it together. What kind of role do you think Michael Jordan played in that conversation?
It
Just as an owner, or
sounded like he was trying to, like you said, be a middleman and kind of understand both sides and kind of try and get people to some common ground, which is pretty good to hear from I guess Michael Jordan's perspective and being a fan of Michael Jordan, because he's not, I guess notorious might not be the word, but he's known for being pretty apolitical and not really
hands off kind of guy.
hands off. Yeah, exactly. He's usually stays pretty neutral. Doesn't want to get involved with the politics and whatnot. That's why everybody, when they do the LeBron James Michael Jordan comparison, they always bring that up as kind of like a knock on Michael Jordan. But I mean, people have their preferences. I'm kind of like Michael Jordan. I don't really like to dip my toes too much in that. I kind of stay neutral most times. But yeah, it's just good to hear Michael Jordan, stepping up and using his influence, because I mean, he has a roster of players that are signed to his shoe company. So I mean, he's already like super relatable with the players. So it does make sense that he'd be used in that way, and it's just really good to hear that he's using his leverage on both sides to help come to a common ground. So yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a surprise for you to hear Michael Jordan was the one involved?
For me, for sure, because I bashed him for not stepping up in several instances, and I found out about this today when Roland informed me of it. So it was, breaking news to me, you can say. But yeah, bro, interesting that Michael Jordan of all people, and I mean, obviously somebody who's hey, he comes in the room, you're gonna listen. So I mean, that's the perfect guy that you want leading the charge of change. Maybe he's heard some of what everybody, in reality is saying, not in Michael Jordan's world, about him, and he's trying to come along. So that's dope, bro.
Whose word carries more right now in the NBA, Jordan's or LeBron's?
I think it's pretty equal, I'd say, at this point, because I mean, LeBron James is the most popular athlete in the world right now, probably. So I mean, I don't know. I guess you have to compare him with like Ronaldo and Messi. Still, he's like on that scale though. But he's a pretty well-known name everywhere across the world, kind of on the same scale as Jordan. But if I were to pick one, I'd maybe say Michael Jordan, just because he's an owner and he's able to relate with the players too. So maybe he has a little bit more reach. And some players, I take some current players kind of don't like LeBron. I feel like there's a little angst against him for, just it's the LeBron show. It's the LeBron show.
Yeah, exactly. They want to. If Braun wants to play, we're going to play.
Exactly. Patrick Beverly, perfect example.
Everybody holds Jordan to that standard. I don't think there's anybody that dislikes Jordan. And like Roland said, right now with LeBron currently being in the NBA, there's guys that competitive edge is kind of like, yo, fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's always his way, and like it's home field advantage for Braun every time. Like, fuck this guy. So I agree with Roland. Maybe Jordan has more pull, especially with the owner part. Completely slipped my mind, but the owners have all the power. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
Another thing in the NBA happening, we had some coaches get axed. We had the Pacers and the 76ers. The 76ers fire seemed like that was coming for.
Yeah,
no. People knew that was going to happen, right? I mean, the whole team needs to be shaken up. Maybe even the GM.
They had been calling for that firing. Yeah. I don't think the GM is going to get moved. I think the coach was a scapegoat right now, just because it was so vocal. Philly fans are fucking brutal, bro. And they had been calling for this guy for a couple of years. The GM definitely should have gone to because the Horford signing and the Tobias Harris signing,
152 million between those two.
Elton
yeah,
Brand.
Elton Brand, exactly. You're not going to start Horford and Embiid at the same time, and Horford's probably the highest paid backup in the NBA with that deal. Like, stupid. They're going to probably have to dump Horford's contract and some picks. It's going to have to be more than just a coaching change. The roster has to be shaken up as well.
Yeah, it's a bad roster. Brett Brown, you can kind of tell towards the end that things were a little bit broken from his perspective. Like, he kind of lost the team, you could say. I mean, even throughout the season, there were reports that him and Ben Simmons really didn't see eye to eye. I read some reports that he was trying to use the media to nudge Ben Simmons to take more threes, and Ben Simmons proceeded to not take a three for 25 straight games as like a total middle finger to Brett Brown after he heard that Brett was urging him to at least take 1 3 a game. And he said, you know what, screw you. I'm not going to take a three for 20 some odd games or whatever. And then you hear the whole thing about Brett Brown saying that, and this is how you knew it was over, because all this stuff was leaking towards like after they were already down 3-0, about to get swept. The leak about him saying that if Embiid doesn't lose weight, we're all going to lose our jobs came out of the woodwork. So
True, man.
I mean, once that stuff starts coming out, you kind of know it's written. People obviously want to get you out of there. They're leaking all this bad information. And, I think it's kind of a good break. And like Ben said, it's going to take a little bit more than Brett Brown just leaving. I don't think they're going to find a coach on the side. I heard that they're in the race for Greg Popovich, which I think we should talk about a little bit. But
we will. We touched on it yesterday.
Like Greg Popovich going over to the Sixers isn't going to immediately fix your problems. Like, you still have a badly constructed roster, as Ben said. You have bad contracts. Tobias Harris should not be close to a max player. I think he's good, but him getting the money that he's getting, and I don't like counting other people's wallets, but he averaged less than 15 points a game in this last season. Got swept in. Al Horford was averaging 6 points a game through 3 games. So, I mean, there's no excuse for that when you have big money contracts for those guys. And Ben Simmons not shooting a three, I mean, that doesn't help either with spacing. And spacing. That's how the NBA works today. So, yeah, a little disappointing with Brett Brown. But the weird firing to me was Nate McMillan. I mean, yeah, they got swept, but he kind of had a lot to deal with. I mean, Oladipo went down. He didn't have Oladipo the whole year until they got to the bubble.
Sabonis.
So Oladipo's Sabonis gets hurt before the bubble. They get swept. A week before he gets fired, he got a 1-year extension. I mean, I guess that says that they're not married to him, but they did give him an extension for 1 year. And then they proceeded to fire him.
Going into the playoffs or what? Was that before the series started?
It was like 1 or 2 weeks. I think it might have been before the playoffs started, because I know they've been getting these games in quick.
Yeah.
They gave him an extension right before the playoffs, and then they go and fire him. So I thought that one was super weird. I don't know. He had a good record too while he was there, a pretty good.
And they were top 10 or top 15 in defense and offense. Like, it was just injuries, bro. He did a decent job with that roster. And it kind of reminds me of that Raptors firing when they fired
Dwayne Casey.
Dwayne Casey. You know what I mean? Like, successful. I mean, I guess they got swept, but in a bubble year and an injury-riddled roster, and like, that's not when you fire the guy. I don't agree with that.
Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year when he got fired.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't get worse than that. So Nate McMillan, you got it easy, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad, but I mean, I think that's when the Raptors were owned by LeBron James for those couple of years. Like, they just couldn't get past LeBron no matter what. Like, even when it was bad.
A candidate for the Pacers, they're saying that they're going to go after D'Antoni pretty hard. So we'll see how that plays out.
How old is D'Antoni? I have to feel like he's up there with Popovich.
He said he's like 68, I believe.
Okay, yeah, okay. He's younger than Popovich. Popovich is 70, 71.
Yeah, but he's old, and he says he's only got a couple years left, and I just don't see the Pacers being a team that he goes to. Like, I think that's a step down, I would think, right? Like,
yeah, it's
I
like
could see him going to Philly and kind of trying to unlock Ben Simmons.
That would be pretty cool in the 7 seconds or less. I mean, that's got to maybe improve Simmons and make him operate in the open court a lot more because he's a beast on the fast break. He's kind of like that LeBron James freight train. You can't stop him once he gets going.
So that's interesting. But let's wrap this up so we can get into some NFL talk, man. Some NBA playoff talk.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's talk about the playoffs. Let's talk about the guys that are actually there. Shout out to the Pacers, though. Shout out to Nate McMillan. I think he's going to find another job, though. Brett Brown, I don't know, because he left in pretty bad way. Yeah, bad terms.
He burned some bridges on the way out.
Oh, what? Look who just joined us right here. Who is this? Is this Ron? Is this Ron? Is that you?
Yeah, I'm out here.
Oh,
Hey,
shit.
Hey, Ron, cheers. Cheers, brother. Cheers.
Hey, hell yeah.
Dang.
Cheers, baby. Cheers.
This is a surprise to me.
Fucking body.
Toddy to the body, yeah.
Yo.
Hey,
What's up, Ron?
What's up, Ron? How you been?
Hey,
How you been?
Hey, can I cuss on the show? I mean, not like every other word, but like.
Yes.
Yeah, you can drop an F-bomb
It's a
every
show.
now and again. Yeah, for sure. It's PG-13.
Hey, well,
PG-13.
hey, to answer your question, Ben, I've been good, bro. You know, sports is back, NBA is back. You guys started the podcast at I think the right time because everybody was just fiending for sports, man. And then sports comes back. You guys dropped the pod. The MMA picks. That was fucking awesome. So shit, I mean, what more could you ask for than a podcast like this and sports being back, man? Let's fucking get
Hell
it,
yeah.
bro.
Hell yeah, let's get into some NBA playoffs.
And your Lakers, they're looking pretty good right now. I mean, they're up. Well, not your Lakers. Your LeBron James. Your king is up 3-1 right now. Do you think they wrap it up in this next game? Do you think the Blazers get out of here with Damian Lillard leaving the bubble? Is this over?
They're done. The Blazers are done. I mean, whatever the line is, take it.
House ranch, everything,
done, bro.
Yeah. Dame leaving the bubble was like, I mean, I get that he was out the last game and he probably wasn't going to play. I mean, you're away from your family, you're not going to play, but we've seen him and Aaron Gordon leave the bubble. But yeah, man, stick a fork in them. It looks like they're going to be awaiting the winner of the Rockets and Thunder.
I can't blame the injury because he was there for.
Sorry,
what's up?
Sorry,
no, it's all right. It's all right. All I was going to say, I was just going to give a little apology to the Lakers because I wasn't going to give myself any bail because Damian Lillard was healthy for this whole series of how they got to 3-1. When it was 1-1, when Ben and I had the podcast last week, I think we both said, or I know I said that this series was going to 7. And the Lakers, they must have heard that we were doubting them a little bit because they've just come out and played bully ball with these boys and just essentially they've gotten them out of there. If Damian Lillard played in Game 5, they're not winning that game. It's 4-1 with or without Damian Lillard. So,
for sure.
But I mean, we did talk about another series at that time that was 1-1, and this one is still a little close in my opinion. The Mavericks and Clippers, they're 3-2 right now. Do you guys see the Mavericks getting another game and stretching this out to 7 with maybe KP coming back?
I do.
You see a Game 7, Justin?
Game 7, yeah.
Okay. The boy Luka has been on fire.
Ron, what you think, Ron?
I didn't know that KP was gonna be back, man. I mean, if KP's back, Luka's gonna have his homie there to bail him out. Just in certain situations when they double, they whatever they do, they trap him. At least now he'll have that option, or maybe the Clippers will have to respect not sending the double team so much to trap Luka because you at least have that. So because of that, I don't know if the Mavs win because as much as I hate Paul George, I know he's been slacky, but he's bound to have a game to where he does just enough to throw Kawhi corners and to get a win. And I think it's going to be the game, the next game's going to be awesome. It's going to be a tough fought game. And I honestly have it as a toss-up. I mean, I would love to see the Mavs win, of course. I would love to see the Mavs win the whole series. But I honestly think the next game with, KP back and everybody talking shit about Paul George that he hasn't shown up, the next game should be lit. I mean, it should be tight. I mean, I would take a bet. Game goes to OT, baby.
Okay.
Take
that plus 3,500 line. Game goes to OT.
Hey, You heard it here first. We talking about sports podcast. Take Clippers Mavs game to go to OT.
Game 6 to go to OT. Shit, bro, they're coming off a 45-point trouncing, like a beatdown. It was bad. With KP coming back, I think it'll be closer. But nah, this shit ain't going 7 games.
Even if it doesn't go 7 games, man, props to the Mavericks because I had this series drummed up 4-1, maybe. I thought the Clippers were going to come out and bully them the whole time. And man, Luka Doncic, however you want to pronounce his name, future MVP.
Luka the God.
That's question with the way that he's playing. Man, just the utter confidence that this guy has. Like that game that they ended up going 2-2. The game that he had was like 40 points, 17 rebounds, 30, something stupid like that, 13 assists. That game
winner,
the game-winning 3. He had airballed like 2 or 3 of those before that, and then he still takes that same shot for the game winner. Insane. This guy's
great. Also, that step back 3, that same step back style that he airballed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So then the other series that we have,
he has all the confidence in the world right now. He has all the confidence in the world right now. So if you have a player like that in a do or die game, a player who doesn't care and is going to take his shot and has all the confidence coming off that game winner, yeah, he got his ass kicked the next game, but you kind of expected that, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you have that guy going into a pivotal game with that much confidence, and you throw in the second best guy, you know, Porzingis. Yeah, I mean, you're there. I mean, going back to the Lakers real quick. I mean, I don't know why people were putting so much respect on the Blazers coming into the playoffs. I mean, yes, every game. But every game was do or die, blah blah. But I mean, they were down at one point to one team. I don't know who it was. A couple games. The game before they played the Nets, a team that they weren't supposed to, have any trouble with.
Right. Even the Nets game was a tough one. They came down to the final night to make the play-in game and make the playoffs. I had the Lakers in 6. I did have the Lakers winning, but Dame was on one. But it just seemed like they were asking him to do too much every single night, and it just kind of caught up to him, right?
Yeah,
it caught up to him.
Yeah, every game was a playoff game, as Ron said, though, so that worked against them.
Go for
some
it, Ron.
of the announcers were saying that, because they had so many games that were do or die, they were using so much energy every single night. So the playoffs to them kind of started when they went into the bubble. So then you finally make it and you're like, hell yeah, we made the playoffs. And then it's like, oh shit, we got fucking LeBron and AD, man. So I mean, I took the Lakers. I'm surprised they haven't swept. I had them either, at least 5 games. But if you think going back to game 1, they only scored 98 points, 97 points. So it really wasn't that the Blazers did so great. It's just the Lakers weren't on that night. And even a mediocre, score from the Lakers game 1, 115, 116, 112, something like that could have won them the game. So the Blazers are even lucky to have a game 5.
They rode the wave into game 1 and stole it for sure. And I mean, it took an all-time terrible shooting performance by the Lakers. Like, I was shitting on KCP, I was shitting on Danny Green. I mean, everybody was getting it, but surprisingly, KCP has been hitting shots for the Lakers.
Yeah,
well, it's about time, bro.
Let's stop talking about the West Coast. There's some more guys that are playing in this Western Conference playoffs. Let's see who else do we have here. Well, let's take that one for last. Let's go with the Jazz and the Nuggets, 3-2. Personally, I'm surprised that the Jazz are up 3-2. I thought the Nuggets were going to end up winning this series, but nobody can check Donovan Mitchell. He's another guy who's ascending, I think, in this playoffs and making a name for himself as somebody that we should look out for next year. And same with Jamal Murray, another baller who single-handedly pretty much led the team to a victory last game. So 3-2. Another question. Do you guys see a game 7 here, or are they out in 6?
Ron, what you got?
Sorry, the dog's barking over here.
Very good. You're good.
It sounds like he's saying game 7. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, man, right. No, I think they do go game 7. This is just one of those series where the teams are so evenly matched. To me, offensively, they both have that guy who can drop 30, 40 points. Which they have been doing. They have the big guys inside. so they're very evenly matched. I mean, how do you not say that this game doesn't go to a game 7?
I think they've had 2 games go to OT also.
I don't like. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, hell yeah, take that.
Like they're evenly matched. They're evenly matched.
Yeah, they're evenly matched.
Yeah, so it's
two young
like
teams.
there's always that series in the playoffs where the teams are kind of, the same, and you can't get too hypey about it either. You don't have that mega standout star. It's just that series that's gonna go 7 games, and you watch it and you wait to see if they can get to the Eastern Conference or Western Conference Finals, and you wait for the superstars to take over. That's how I see that series. I honestly, real talk, I could care less about that. Yes, it's good basketball, but show me the stars, baby. I want to see some dunks. I want to see some 3-pointers. I want to see the stars, baby.
Well, hey, Mitchell's gone for 50 twice in the series, cuz, so we can't hang on. Mitchell and Murray have been putting on clinics. Shooting wise, it's been rowdy. I still don't see it. I had the Nuggets in 6. I don't know how the fuck the Jazz got all this chemistry all of a sudden, but they've been playing. Gobert's been dropping 20. Like, when does Gobert drop 20?
They can't stop the pick and roll, and that's the problem for the Nuggets. They've just been getting sliced and diced on that pick and roll, no matter how they play it. Every time, man, it's crazy. I've never seen a guy split the pick and roll so easily as the Donovan Mitchell splitting it when you have a Jokic on the other side. Oh my God, barbecue chicken all day. So, actually, I think the Jazz close this one out. I think the Jazz get them out of there.
I agree.
I'll say why, because from what I've seen, win or lose for the Nuggets, their shots are coming a lot harder, or their buckets are coming a lot harder than it is for the Jazz. I feel like the Jazz are getting a lot more easier shots, and I think that's going to end up prevailing. And so, yeah, I got the Jazz in 6 in this one.
I'm with you, Roland. I'm going to tell you on that. Jazz in 6. I think other than Murray, it's not really, like you said, the buckets are coming in really hard. It's not happening for him. So I'm going to go.
For sure.
Let's get to the most interesting series in the West.
Let's kick it to the Rockets insider.
The Rockets against the Thunder, man. 2-2. We took the first 2 without Russ. They battled back. We had to go to OKC, and they held it down. Home court advantage.
Get the fuck out of here.
So now Game 5.
I kind of want to rewind, man.
Game 5, we're back in Houston, baby, and Russ is back. This little delay helped us out a bit. It gave Russ 2-3 extra days. We're going to be back. And listen, Rockets in 6 was my prediction prior. Rockets in 6 with Russ back. All we're missing is a couple of layups and dunks in the fourth quarter when we go cold, and that's all Russ, bro. If Stevens Adams is out of the game and Gallinari's at the 5, because they've been closing with Gallinari at the 5, Gilchrist Alexander, Lou Dort, Chris Paul, and Schroeder. That's layup galore. But Harden's tired doing it himself. Schroeder, whatever the hell his name is. It's a layup line for Russ. I expect the Rockets in 6 with Russ coming back.
So they go 2 in a row.
2 in a row.
2 in a row. Okay. I think this one goes 7, but I still got the Rockets. And I think the Rockets are going to go up 3-2. And then I think the Thunder are going to come back with a tough game. But I'd still ultimately give it to the Rockets because I still think they should have won this last game and been up 3-1. They just went cold at the end, like Ben said. I give CP3 too much respect, though, to go out like that. So I have CP3 going out in 7, losing in 7.
The game I couldn't bet on.
No, I don't see. Oh, sorry, Justin. Go. You're good, man. Go.
I would say it's going to be Rockets in 7.
All right, Rockets in 7.
I
Ron?
say Rockets in 6, bro. I mean, you should be disappointed. You should be disappointed in the beard. You should shave your beard. You should shave your beard for having the Rockets go 6 games, bro.
That was my prediction. He hasn't had Russ, exactly. So we're missing an all-star and 28 points per game, and I should be ashamed of being tied.
Nah, that's a good call.
Not only should you be ashamed, that beard should go.
Bro, OKC had the exact same record as the Rockets when the season ended. Like, let's be realistic here.
Facts.
We're not playing the 8th seed, cuz. We're not playing the team that's scratching clouds to get into the playoffs, all right? We're playing a team that was in the playoffs throughout the whole year.
They're tough, too. That's a tough squad down in OKC.
They're gritty. They're gritty, Ron. They're gritty. And CP3, we call the revenge tour. Hey, you said 6 still. So what should we be embarrassed about? 6 games?
Yeah.
Lakers are going 5 with the 8 seed. Let us go 6 with the 5 seed, cuz.
No, I feel that. So Ben, you're fully confident that the Rockets get this done.
As long as
Just want
Russ
to get your
plays,
thoughts.
I'm 100% confident. As long as Russ plays, we will win in 6, and I guarantee that.
That's the Rockets insider for the podcast, so we have to go with what he's saying. So
Yeah.
Rockets are going to take this series, no doubt in our minds. So moving on to the East, there's not much to talk about in the East as far as first round matchups because the only active matchup right now is the Magic and the Bucks, and I think I speak for all of us here when we say that the Bucks are probably going to take care of business and go up 4-1 and move on. So that leads us to the second round for the East, and we'll touch on these, just give our thoughts and who we think is going to win each series. So the first one is a personal favorite of mine. It's the Raptors versus the Celtics, the 2 and the 3. They both swept their opponents, and the Celtics, they went 3-1 against the Raptors in the regular season. Do you guys think that holds any weight going into the playoffs? And who do you think wins this series?
Raptors in 6.
Okay.
I kind of like the Celtics in this series, man.
Okay. I like the Raptors too. I think the Raptors are going to eat down low. They're just more experienced. They're the defending champs. Tatum has already said he kind of doesn't even want to be in the bubble due to everything that's going on. Give me the guys that are the champions and not halfway checked out. So I got Raptors in 6.
Okay. And, I just have to lead myself into this explanation because before the bubble, I had the Celtics as my dark horse to come out of the East. After seeing a couple of games, I kind of flopped. And I said, you know what? I like the way the Raptors look right now. I like the way they look. And look, I'm not going to flop again.
Garza, bro?
He sounds like a Garza bro right
I'm
now.
not going to flop again. I'm sticking with the Raptors. I think the Raptors are going to end up winning. I think they have too many bodies to throw at Jason Tatum, and it's going to end up coming down to Kemba Walker and Jaylen Brown winning the game for you. And I just don't think they have enough resistance down low either. I think Marc Gasol and Ibaka are going to eat. I think the lanes are going to be open because Cantor and Tice aren't scaring anybody from going down there. So give me the Raptors, but just Raptors in 6. I don't want. Yeah, just Raptors in 6.
Ron, final prediction real quick before we get to the last one and to the Cowboys. Who you got?
Talk to me.
Raptors or Celtics? In how many games?
Celtics, baby. Celtics are hungry, bro. Celtics
in what? Celtics in what?
Celtics in 7.
Okay.
And this next series has one of Ben's favorite players, so I'll let Ben talk about this first. It's the Heat and the
Heat were my dark horse. They're coming in against the 1 seed, the Bucks. It's a 1-4 matchup, and I like Adebayo on Giannis. I like Butler on Giannis. I like all the bodies that they have to throw at Giannis. And I'm taking the Heat in 7.
Ooh,
no way.
Okay, I like that. I
had them getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm not switching up now.
I have
not
a
after
little tidbit. I have a little tidbit for you, Ben. Your boy Adebayo against Giannis. The last time that they faced each other, Giannis scored 13 points against the Heat. He was one of 10 when Adebayo was guarding him. So they might have a little blueprint to stop Giannis there. As Ben said, they do have multiple defenders to throw at him. But I picked the Buckets. I picked the Bucks to come out of the East. I don't think they're going to exit in the second round. I think it's tough, man, because there's a blueprint to beat Giannis out there, I think. But I still think he's going to be able to do enough to get it done this next round. I don't know if the Heat have guys that have done it necessarily yet. Man, I don't know. This one's so tough for me, but I'm going Bucks in 7 because I don't see the MVP going out in the second round. I'll have them exiting in the Eastern Conference Finals, but not in the second round.
All right, Ron?
Puro Bucks, cuz easy. They were asleep this first round. They were trash.
Okay.
They didn't play well. It just took that wake-up call. They're going to destroy the Heat. I'd say Bucks.
Destroy?
Oh, yes. I mean, look at the roster, Ben. Look at the roster for the Bucks and look at the roster for the Heat. But you're gonna count on these young Heat guys behind Jimmy Butler, who was with the Sixers last year and couldn't get anything done. That's who you want as your leader on the team. Come on, bro.
I like Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler, and honestly, bro, the Bucks haven't impressed me. Like, have they impressed you?
No, but It doesn't matter because when they get to the next level, it's a different statement, man.
He's trying to. They play down to their competition.
They know they play like shit, so they're gonna take it to the Heat, man. And if you're gonna want the young guys from the Heat to try to get you there to beat the Bucks and Giannis and his squad, all those vets, it's not gonna happen, bro.
I think they can build the wall. I think they can build the wall around the paint.
I'll put money on whatever you want. The first we talking about sports live bet right now. Whatever you want.
So
Justin, you can hold the money.
Timestamp it. Timestamp it.
Down.
Okay, but what I mean, I don't. The odds are going to be rowdy. The Bucks are going to be heavy favorites.
Who do you got in this one, Justin?
To make it quick because of time, I'm going to go Bucks and 6.
Bucks and 6. All right, we got 3 guys for the Bucks.
I'm the only one who's got the Heat. All right, let's get to the Cowboys. You're wearing all this. You're wearing all this gear. You're wearing all this fucking gear. Let's get to the shits. Let's get to this.
Let's do it.
Cowboy talk.
Roland, lead us into this because
all right. You want to hear it? All right, I'll give it to you guys. We got the Dallas Cowboys breakdown, so we're trying to get to as many teams before the start of the season, and we would be remiss if we didn't at least touch on the Cowboys before we got to the regular season. Seeing we're like 2 weeks away, so I'm going to kick us off. The Cowboys last year, they went 8-8. All too familiar for us Cowboys fans. Unfortunately, it seems to be either 8-8 or 9-7. 88. Des Bryant, throw up the X. CeeDee Lamb now 8-8. We'll get to that later. But they were 5-1 against the division last year. I do want to throw that out. They lost the most important game, which was that 9-17 debacle against the Eagles, where everybody was up in arms with Amari Cooper. Dak Prescott underperformed. Just a bad look overall. Their 2020 Vegas total is set at 9.5 games. They are the favorites to win the NFC East. They're small favorites. They're -110. These odds are per mybookie.ag. A couple of new faces around the facilities. There's a new coaching staff. No more Jason Garrett. Can I get a clap, Cowboys fans here?
Thank you, God.
Can I get a clap? Can I get a clap?
Hey,
we got Mike McCarthy.
Just a golf clap.
How ironic is this? Let's clap that Jason Garrett is.
Yeah, exactly.
Bringing up the irony.
So we got.
Are you gator chomping or clapping, Ron? What's going on here?
He was chomping on Garrett.
So no more Jason Garrett. We got Mike McCarthy with that Super Bowl pedigree coming out of Green Bay. He's going to be our head coach now. And then some additions. Of course, we got some new players in the house too. We got Clinton Dix. I think he just came over from the Packers. I don't know if he had made another stop, but he's another former Packer. They added Greg the Leg Zerlin, so the kicker position shouldn't be a problem anymore. They beefed up that defensive line. Don Terry Poe, they signed him over from the Panthers. And then they also signed Gerald McCoy, but we'll get to him a little bit later. They also signed
the Seahawks too.
Who? I'm blanking out. Who was that?
Didn't we get that defensive end from the Seahawks or some shit like that?
Oh, Clowney. Clowney.
No, we didn't get Clowney, but we did sign Alden Smith. We touched on it a little bit last week. He's been out for like 5 years on multiple suspensions and whatnot, but he was a beast when he was in the league. But that was about 5 years ago. And one of the more important additions, I'd say, is the backup quarterback position. We got the Red Rocket. So if Dak goes down, we might be okay. It might not be over. So that's usually been the case with the Cowboys. When the starter goes down, you can wrap it up. But, hey, we got Andy Dalton, should be a solid backup quarterback coming from Cincinnati. Now let's get to the losses. I know we talked about Gerald McCoy coming over. He got hurt in the first day of practice, quadriceps injury, so he's out due to injury. But some guys that left because of free agency, Byron Jones, he signed with Miami. Jason Witten, he's now on the Raiders. Malik Collins, I don't know exactly where he's at. Robert Quinn went and got paid with the Bears. And Randall Cobb, he's now with the Texans, and he's part of that hodgepodge of receivers that they have over there. It's about like 3 or 4 guys, but that should be a pretty interesting receiving core with Randall Cobb going over there. Travis Frederick, he retired. That's a big blow to the offensive line. But I think the Cowboys still have enough to get it done. They did draft another guy out of Wisconsin, another center, Tyler Biadasz. Biadasz, yeah, exactly. And then in the draft, everybody knows we got CeeDee Lamb. And Trayvon Diggs also. So there's some pretty big additions. a lot of
Ron.
expectations.
Ron,
For
let's just get to it. The season team
Yeah.
total is 9.5, Ron. 9.5.
First of all, you always let Roland finish, bro. All the
Oh,
time.
no. I was about
He was
done.
done. Hey,
I was about done.
This
I
is
was
our
waiting for
second-
somebody
Put
to
some
come
respect
in.
on his name, bro.
This is our 17th episode, partner. I know when he's wrapping up, okay? I
Hey,
know when he's
first of all,
wrapping up.
Thank you for the
Hey,
respect, though,
cheers.
Ron. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I appreciate
cheers
it.
to cheers to Roland's new whip, man. Congratulations on the new whip.
Thank you.
Fire.
Thank
Nice,
you.
Roland.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it though. What are the thoughts? I broke it down for everybody. What are our thoughts?
Ron, rapid fire. I'm going to give you the Cowboys schedule. You tell me win or loss. Rapid fire. Ready?
No, watch. I know I said I had to be off by 8:15, but I could just take it somewhere else. So
Okay.
we're Gucci.
All right, but still, let me
But
give you
if
the
you want, give me the rapid fire real quick.
just
give
the
me rapid
schedule.
fire.
You tell me win or loss. Someone just keep counting. Let's see if we get to 10. I know at the end of all of those notes, he's got 8 and 8, but let's see if we get to fucking 10. Week
right,
1.
Give me a rapid fire real quick so we can get this done, and then I'll still keep talking with you guys. I just gotta go somewhere else.
All right, Cowboys and Rams. Cowboys at Rams.
Fuck, you're gonna start me off like that, bro?
That's the way the season starts. Rolling dub, Ron.
Hey, but the Rams don't have Gurley, right?
Ron, it's rapid fire, Ron. This is not
rapid fire.
They don't have Gurley.
This is not a
seconds
turtle
left.
race, Russ. This is not a turtle race.
Loss.
Loss.
Ooh.
Okay, Cowboys at Falcons.
Win.
Dub.
Okay, that's 1. Cowboys Seahawks. Cowboys at Seahawks.
God damn it. L.
Okay, 1 and 2. Browns at Cowboys.
Win.
2 and 2.
Easy.
Giants at Cowboys.
Win.
3 and 2. Cardinals at Cowboys.
Win. We're gonna
4
win
and
that one
2.
for sure.
Cowboys at Washington football team.
I like that.
Win.
I like
Easy
that.
win.
I like
Easy
that.
for the season.
5 and 2. Cowboys at Eagles.
Win, because we want redemption from last year.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Damn,
Screw the
boy,
Eagles.
you're a homer. 6
Screw
and
the
2.
Eagles.
Steelers at Cowboys.
Oh, that's an easy win, way, because the Steelers
Damn.
suck.
Hey, he couldn't say L. He
Diego,
couldn't.
Steelers suck. Easy win.
7 and 2. Vikings at Cowboys.
Give me an L and a close one.
Okay, so 7 and 3. Washington football team at Cowboys.
That's another win, baby.
8 and 3.
Jerry's world.
8 and 3. Cowboys at Ravens.
Oh, that's hey man, that's an L.
hey,
I gotta respect Lamar. You gotta respect Lamar at home, Lamar.
All right, so 4. Cowboys at Bengals.
Oh, give me that. Easy win. Bengals JV team. JV
9
live.
and 4. All right, 49ers at Cowboys.
I gotta take the L and a close one there.
Okay, 9 and 5. Eagles at Cowboys. You already gave them the first one. We know they always split.
Nah, give me the L because we're gonna be at home.
Okay, 9 and 6.
I mean, no, win. My
Oh,
bad.
now there's still another game. There's still another game. Last game of the season.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Give me the win against the Eagles.
You're gonna
So
sweep the
2-0
Eagles.
against the Eagles for the season.
You know that's bullshit already. And the last game's against the Giants. I take it that's a win. 11 and 5. 11 and 5 season. Ron's prediction for the boys.
I mean, yeah, and that's me being as realistic as I can be. I could say they're gonna go 16-0, but that's probably not gonna happen. But
So
11
this is
and 5,
realistic, Ron. Realistic, Ron.
yeah, realistic Ron. 11 and 5. We're gonna make the playoffs because the freaking the Redskins are trash. The Giants are trash, especially because they got Garrett on their coaching staff. So that's a win every time.
Nice call out.
So
That's true.
That's true. We should at least go 4-0 against those two in the division.
Like last year.
Yeah,
We did
like
that
last year.
Yeah, we did that
We
last
didn't
year.
make the
We did that
playoffs.
last year. Went 5-1.
But I did say that we're going to beat the Eagles twice. So if we go undefeated in the division, we're Gucci no matter what. I said we go 11 and 5. It should at least get us a good spot. Hopefully, we don't have to play a wild card game, because we're gonna win, our division. So clearly, So that's kind of how I see it, man. This is the year, bro. We got McCarthy. We finally got Garrett out of there. Let's get him the hell out, and we're gonna do it, bro. Zeke's
No more
good.
Garrett excuses.
You see what? If we don't have Dak, it's all good because we got the Red Rocket, baby. I wouldn't even have him minded starting the season if Dak would have bitched out and not signed his contract and all that shit. So Dalton's good.
You have the best backup in the NFL, in my opinion, as well. You are the best backup in the NFL.
Yeah, every Cowboy fan says it, but this is our year. This is our year. Remember that. 2020 was terrible to everybody. 2020 sucked. But the best thing that's going to come out of 2020 is the beginning of the Cowboy season, winning the Super Bowl in 2021.
Yes, sir.
I love it.
Love the boldness.
Normally, I would hop right on the bandwagon because I'm a Cowboys fan too. I mean, maybe I'm just a little jaded. My expectations, I always try and taper them with the Cowboys. But as far as the season total is concerned, I too, when Ron was going through the little rapid fire, I kind of did a little tally off on the side. I had them going 11-5, just looking at the schedule. I think they get there, but I'm not recommending anybody take their season total over under because they're just too volatile of an organization. Like maybe it was Jason Garrett that had it, but you just never know what the heck's going to happen with the Cowboys. And nothing ever goes 9.5. Nothing ever goes as planned with the Cowboys. Just nothing ever does. Like on paper, you can have the best team, top 5 offense like they had last year, but we went 8-8. So I'm going to taper my expectations, but looking at the schedule, I see them going 11-5. If they play to what's on paper, they just added CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to be a touchdown machine. I like him to be one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year in the NFC, Offensive Rookie of the Year at least. And they beefed up the defense, the secondary. I don't have to see Jeff Heath trotting out there anymore. They got freaking Clinton Dix, so I don't have to see him play safety anymore. Thank goodness. They drafted Trayvon Diggs, so I like our secondary, even though we lost Byron Jones. And then, of course, we talked about them beefing up the D-line, even though they lost Gerald McCoy. So on paper, this should be it. This should be our most competitive team that we've had in a little while. If everything goes as planned, I think we can at least make an NFC championship run. NFC championship run, and then it comes down to, Jimmy G out there with the Niners, they have a complete team, but who knows in the playoffs? I don't know. So the Cowboys could make a run.
Let's move the party.
I gotta wrap it up here. But I'm gonna pause the camera real quick, and I'll be right back. Is that cool?
Go ahead, I'll bring you back on when you're ready.
What are you thinking about, Ben? I know you're the Texans fan here. You're a little bit outnumbered right now.
I like the real number 4, not the 4 that's behind Ron right now. All right. We rock the
second face of the league.
Yeah, the second. Hey, well, I love the way you put that shit. The second face of the it's not like if Mount Rushmore only has one fucking face.
Oh, that's okay. That's a good point. But we're talking face of the league, though. That's a good point, though. I like that. Mount Rushmore.
But the Cowboys, bro, finally got. Look, listen. I was a big. I was a big guy on Jason Garrett. It was comedy. It was funny. It was easy to make fun of, and having a terrible GM/coach on my team's end, it was good to let some steam out on another coach that maybe was worse than my coach. You know what I mean?
He made Bill O'Brien look smart.
A lot of people hold Bill O'Brien at very low standards, but Jason Garrett was below that. Let's be honest. He was below that.
No argument for me.
As he should.
You're going to find an argument here.
But I got the Cowboys winning 10 games, I think minimum at least 10 wins. With the extra, I still have them splitting with the Eagles. I think that they'll either win the Arizona game or win the Steelers game, but they'll lose one of those two. I have them losing to the Niners. I have them losing to the Ravens. But I have them beating the division again, 5-1, just losing that one game to the Eagles. With the two wild card teams being added this year, instead of one, now it's 2. If they don't win the division like they did last year, Yeah, if they don't win the division like they did last year and not get in, they would have been a wild card, and we would have had 2 wild card teams last year. So I see them at minimum being a wild card and minimum winning 10 games this season. To be fair, I'm excited about their offense just because I expect things. But the defense, still.
So then you're saying that the over 9.5 should be a lock, is what you're
saying?
No,
I'm not saying lock. I said 10. Well, I did say minimum.
Put the lock in.
So
I ain't putting.
Talking about sports.
Ain't nobody putting no lock. No locks are ever going in on the Cowboys.
No, I can't do that. Maybe some little fun money, some little lunch money I'll put on that total. Just to root for it throughout the year. But yeah, not a lock.
There will not be any locks on the Cowboys on this podcast, partner.
That's a lock. You heard it here first on the We Talking About Sports podcast. Lock it in. Wally Garza whale play. Whale play right here.
Wally Garza, Wally Garza.
Over 9.5.
Hey, you've got a official We Talking About Sports Live game 6 of the Mavs and Clippers goes to overtime from Ron at outrageous odds.
Yeah.
And now he just dropped the well play on
only here
on our heads.
Yes.
I don't think you'll get any other podcast that drops a well play on the Cowboys except for our guest tonight. And
live drop too, man.
We Talking About Sports exclusive pick. So when that pick hits, they're gonna be like, "Where'd you get that pick at?" You gotta say, you gotta go to We Talking About Sports podcast and get that pick.
The
whale plays.
Hey, so this is pretty much gonna wrap up our NFL talk, and we're gonna transition into MMA. But now that I have 4 of the 6 committed players. 2 breaking news right here. I'm about to break some news on all of y'all. All right? Yeah. Breaking news. We Talking About Sports is going to be hosting their first ever fantasy football league. All right. We got 4 of the 6 committed. So 4 of us plus 2 more have already committed to the league. We're aiming for 12 people just so we got 6 open spots. First 6 people to respond or tell us that they want in. Get in. We're looking to draft either Labor Day weekend or that week right before the Thursday night game. We're 14 days away, so maybe between 10 and 12 days from now, we want to be drafting just to get the last of the news. Let's see who gets COVID right before the season and who we're not going to draft and who we're going to draft. Let's be real.
2 IR spots.
2 IR spots. It's going to be half-point PPR. And we're not going to be taking a buy-in from anybody who wants to join. We got 6 open spots. The winner's going to get an autographed jersey. And none of you motherfuckers better ask for Pat Mahomes because that shit ain't happening, all right? Not the one face of the league like Roland likes to say. But if you want some other player's autographed jersey, the winner is going to get an autographed jersey if it's not one of the 3 hosts, all right?
Drop a quick gem. I mean, who are you looking to draft? Give us a little sleeper. Give us a little sleeper.
You want a John Madden? Oh, you want a sleeper? All right.
I want a little sleeper.
I thought you wanted a John Madden prediction, like
no.
number 1 or some shit.
I want a little sleeper. Somebody that you're expecting to blow up.
The blow up's gonna be amazing. The sleeper's David Johnson. That's
David Johnson. The rebirth.
The rebirth of David Johnson with the Houston Texans, that zone scheme offense. We love running the ball. We made Carlos Hyde a 1,000-yard rusher for the first time in his career. We traded Hopkins for David Johnson in a pick, so expect him to be the workhorse. I'm expecting David Johnson to be a top 10 running back this season.
Oh, okay. Yep. David Johnson, top 10, Kenyon Drake. I love it. They swap spots. I like it. But, hey, before
you can see that happening.
I can see it happening too, but before we completely move off of NFL, I think we're missing somebody's prediction. Justin, you're a Cowboys fan.
Just to make
who's coming in?
5. I liked Ron's picks. The only one I didn't agree with is the Steelers. I think we lose that one.
Okay.
I like what we did in the offseason. I'm real happy. Garrett gone, and I was big on CeeDee Lamb, and we landed him. So I'm real happy.
Good deal.
Everybody went over, so maybe Ron's onto something. Shit, maybe this Shit is a lot.
Oh man, I just have bad memories, man. I just have bad memories, dude. I'm jaded.
I feel
I'm
you.
sorry.
I feel you.
I just can't do it.
But so let's transition over to some MMA and let's get into the contest standings, and then we'll get into the 3 fights that we're gonna go over for this card. All right, man. So let's get to some MMA news. Real quick before we get to one of the quick hitters that we wanted to hit for the heavyweight division and the fights for this. You don't know guillotine. Hey, that's good form, cuz. Let's get to the picks and just. I mean, I don't even know if I should read out everybody's scores, but we only had 2 people. We were picking 2 fights last week, the main event and the co-main event. And the co-main event actually got scratched due to Oben St. Preux getting COVID on Friday night, which was the last COVID test that he had before fight day. So he dropped out, and the only fight that we had was Pedro Munoz, who was a heavy favorite against Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar came in as a plus 210 underdog, and we had 2 people pick Frankie Edgar, new guys to the competition. AJ Villarreal picked up 2.1 points.
Shout out.
And Raul Torres also picked up Frankie, picking up 2.1 points. Both of them now at 4.1. They've been playing with us for 2 weeks, and they've been lighter. They've been lighter cards. But yeah, only 2 people out of we have about 20 people in the contest, and only 2 picked Frankie Edgar. I don't know if you all saw the fight, but it was pretty controversial. A lot of people had Pedro Munoz beating Frankie Edgar, but the judges ended up going with a split decision for Frankie Edgar. I'm not going to recap the whole card, but I do want to recap the one fight that we did pick. Me personally, I had Pedro Munoz winning the fight, just causing more damage with the leg kicks. He wasn't throwing combos. Frankie Edgar was throwing combos, and I think that scored more points for the judges. But even Dana said he wasn't that impressed with Frankie, and he had more work to do. We know this was his first fight at that weight division, but I mean, a big win against a top 5 guy.
Yeah, props to Frankie, though. I mean, that's a guy who's kind of coming off a couple of losses. People were thinking, hey, this weight cut's kind of weird to be doing it at the end of your career and whatnot. Like, what's that really going to do?
Yeah.
But, I didn't really think he was going to come out and win. I had Munoz winning the fight, too, but the thing that I always find weird is the judging, man. Like, you have some guys that judge it 3-2, and then you have somebody who goes unanimous decision or something like that. I think that was the case on one of these, or 4-1, and it's like, what the heck? Like, what fight were you watching? So, yeah, just another, some more inconsistency is what I'm trying to say from UFC refs. But shout out to Frankie, man. He's a legend in the game. Judges, my bad. Judges.
Hey,
more inconsistency from the judges.
But the refs are bad this
but the judges. But yeah, shout out to Frankie, man. He's a Hall of Famer, a legend in the game, and he gets to stay around a little bit more.
No, he's not.
He is. I think so. He's a Hall of Famer, 100%. 100%.
You think so?
Fam, he came up from MTV True Life, I want to be an MMA fighter, to being a UFC champion at 155.
And beating BJ Penn.
At 155, and now he's at 135.
BJ Penn, bro. I watched the BJ Penn.
Because
BJ Penn was a champ when he took him out.
Frankie Edgar's been in the game for a long time. BJ Penn was
I know that. Like, I'm not putting respect on Frankie Edgar's name, but
that's what that's exactly what
come on, bro. Like, when you to me, it's like when you speak of Hall of Fame, you have your GSPs, your Chuck Liddells, your Anderson Silvas, your Conor McGregors, and you're like, you can throw Frankie Edgar's name in that mix.
You're kind of talking about GOATs. You're not even talking.
Yeah, they have their own section in the hall. They have their own little.
You're talking about the Mount Rushmore of MMA: John Jones, Khabib, GSP, Anderson Silva. Come on, cuz
you got a guy like Frankie Edgar with that much time in the octagon.
We can't compare Joel Embiid to Shaq. I mean, there's
levels. Yeah,
there's levels. There's levels.
So you're putting Joel Embiid in the hall?
Well, no, I'm just saying you can't compare it. Okay, Anthony, you can't compare Anthony Davis to LeBron, but Anthony Davis is still a Hall of Famer. How about that? Or not Anthony Davis, Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony to LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. That's a better one. He's a perennial all-star, if you will. He's a former champ.
In the hall. I would not put Melo in the hall.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Melo in the hall either, man.
Oh, Melo's a Hall of Famer. Fuck you guys.
Yes,
He's a Hall of
100.
Famer.
thank you, Justin.
Dude, you got
What-
chill out. He's a top
And
15.
listen,
For what reason was he Hall of
This is
Famer?
crazy. No, I don't even want to talk about that. No, you're
No,
gonna
how about this? How about this? How about I change it?
We're
Bro,
going to
bro,
talk
bro.
about it.
Let's talk about it, but let me get us in order. Court is in order. Listen, maybe it was a bad comparison because Carmelo Anthony has never been a champion. How about this?
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
How about
Just keep
this?
Melo out of this. He's
How
a Hall of
about
Famer,
this?
though.
How about I compare Frankie Edgar to, I'm going to say a point guard just because Frankie Edgar's 5'4", but I have another comparison. Since he was a champion, how about we compare him to
Delhi.
Chauncey Billups? No, Delhi, get the fuck out of here, fam. Chauncey Billups
Delhi the
or
champ.
Dirk Nowitzki? How's the comparison to Chauncey Billups? A champion, Hall of Famer, only won one championship, but Frankie Edgar's been a champion, bro. If you're a champion, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame, bro. Chris Weidman's going to be in the Hall of Fame whether we like it or not, guys.
Fuck no.
That's just the way it is. Chris Weidman will be in the Hall of Fame.
No, I don't think he will.
He beat
No,
Anderson
man.
Silva twice. You're not going to get in the Hall
Dude,
of
we
Fame.
talked about
Just because you were champion once doesn't make you a Hall of Famer.
Edgar.
Yes.
He won. He
Edgar's a Hall
defended
of
it, didn't
Famer
he?
though, not because
And
he
then
was
you-
champion once, but because of the time he's put in the octagon. Who has more hours than Edgar in the octagon?
Yeah, he's been
cares?
around. He's
Sucks.
fought the who's who. He's been
Yeah.
a champ.
He has days.
He's
in
beating the who's
octagon.
who too.
He has days, not hours in the octagon. He's got days.
That's
in
what
the
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Frankie
No, that was
Edgar. Frankie Edgar's a Hall of Famer, but it was a bad decision. Munoz won, and you know what? Instant rematch. That's the type of fight that deserves an instant rematch.
So
Absolutely, I would love to see that run back.
sticking on the Hall
But
of Fame.
on a
and
fucking fight night again, because I'm not.
yeah, fight night. Yeah, fight night.
exactly.
Sticking on a Hall of Fame before we get into the MMA podcast pick'em contest. What do you guys think about Stipe? He's a future Hall of Famer. What do you think about him ducking Ngannou? Do
I don't
you
like
think
it,
he's
man.
going to duck him?
What? Roland calling Stipe a future Hall of Famer? Roland?
I mean, he is. I mean, come on, man. I mean, I'm giving him his
credit.
He's
It's just that we don't like the
respectful.
guy.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just
being
not used to-
respectful.
I'm just not used to hearing you giving
Yeah,
Stipe
yeah.
props.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a surefire Hall of Famer. But
Both defenses in the heavyweight division.
yeah, but he's ducking Ngannou. He says he wants another challenge.
He
What?
said that he ran a clinic on it.
Oh my God, he's scared.
well, guys, he did run a clinic. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but you gotta say it like that and then
Oh, hell yeah, fam. You're the
why not be
champ.
like, I'll run it back. I ran a clinic on him last time. We'll run it again.
I won't run it back. I'll fight John Jones and I'll get paid. And I'll fight a guy who's not going to knock me out. I'll fight John Jones. Stipe is being smart. He's being the champ. He's calling his shot. He deserves it.
Deserves to, I guess.
They took him on this fucking roller coaster.
So mad.
Justin is pissed. Hey, cheers.
Because I don't like Stipe, bro. You know that the whole thing. First off, I can never just understand what that fool says. You need a damn translator whenever he talks.
That's
He needs to be
fine.
walking around with someone to translate.
Listen, you
Justin
respect.
just getting personal on him with the
He is.
translator talk.
He is.
Because
Hey.
I've never been a Stipe guy. I just
Listen, but you respect DC, and you said that he might be one of the top 2 heavyweights in the UFC. You said he
that
might
was
be.
Josh.
Oh yeah, you're right. Hey, you're related. You're related. It's pretty much like you.
Oh yeah, by
All right?
Fact check.
Los dos son
Justin,
Martinez.
fact check.
Los dos son Martinez, cuz. All right, they share thoughts. But anyways, like Stipe, hey, you're the champ. You went through that roller coaster with DC. Call your shot, man. Fight John Jones. Don't get knocked out. Fight the GOAT. Get paid. And after John Jones beats you, let him fucking handle Ngannou, bro. But
That
stay out of that
sucks.
monster.
That sucks for
Stay out of
Ngannou,
that
though,
monster
dude.
way. Stay out of that monster
Yeah.
way.
What do you do with
Look,
Ngannou?
Look, nowadays in MMA, it's all about the money. So if
Yeah,
Stipe
yeah.
is
On it.
a fight with John Jones gonna bring you money, or is a fight with Ngannou gonna bring you money? No, you want John Jones. You want to be the first guy to fight John Jones at heavyweight because
For
you're
sure.
gonna make that cash. You're gonna draw the pay-per-view card. You're gonna get Dana all wet about John Jones because you know Dana White's always been on John Jones' nuts. So Dana White is gonna send his boy John Jones up there for the unification fight of the heavyweight, and then John Jones is gonna be another 2 weight class champion, blah blah blah. After he beats Stipe, who just retired
DC.
Yeah.
Cormier. You know what I mean? So Stipe's not stupid, bro. He wants
Nah.
to get that money fight.
And he's earned
why
it.
is he going to fight Ngannou and risk a loss or risk an injury when he
Or
has the
getting
money fight with John
decapitated.
Jones?
Let's be honest, fam. Like his head might not be on his shoulders after
Yeah.
the Ngannou fight. Like,
No, I hear all that. I hear everything you guys are saying, and I agree with most of it. It's just I'm a big Ngannou guy, and I just don't know. Man, you're doing him dirty if you give Stipe to John Jones
Are
and let
you
Stipe
though?
call his shots.
Are you?
Yeah, because he's done everything that you've asked of somebody who's lost. He's
But-
ran through the rest of the division again.
But we've seen. But listen, he lost, and then he lost even worse to Derek Lewis.
Oh, that's
Jones-
true. He has a
John
Derek
Jones-
Derek Lewis.
Hey,
He has a Derek
watch,
Lewis.
watch
Yeah, but
it.
they already booked Derek Lewis with blades.
No,
So what do
I
you?
know.
That's my question with Ngannou. What do you do?
That's not
Alistair
what I'm saying.
Overeem's been getting title shots on less things than what
That's-
Ngannou's done.
Hey, that's not even my point. My point is this dude lost 2 in a row, and John Jones hasn't lost a fight since he stepped in the octagon.
Oh no, I'm not
You know
saying.
that
I'm
John
not
Jones
Hey,
might
you
not
know-
win it.
you know
Jones
what?
still
You
gotta
know-
live.
You know when you
Yeah.
go to the amusement parks, the water parks, and you pay for the fast pass. John Jones has a permanent fast pass.
Oh yeah,
He
no, there's
walked
no
to
doubt
the
about
finish
that.
line.
He ain't ready.
John
We
Jones-
know he's
There's
not
no
ready.
doubt about that. I
Jones
agree.
arguing that he's-
You wanna
that-
know
that's
why
not
John
the
If
Jones
anybody's
hasn't
gonna get
lost a
the
fight?
if anybody's gonna get the fast pass, it's John Jones. I agree. He can. It's right. If he wants that shot, he should get it. I'm just speaking from like a totality thing, like who's earned it as far as who's been in the division, who's been knocking out heavyweights. It's Francis Ngannou. So that's who I would like to see get the shot. But I understand John Jones getting it. He's a number one contender. Is all that I'm saying.
We've had guys.
Nobody wants to hear the Max Kellerman analytics on MMA and who should. You know what I'm saying?
It's true though.
Even though Roland has a justified point, because you got to give it's just like a Woodley. Whenever Woodley would fight, it was the same thing. He deserved every fight. He would, he was a numbers guy. He would dominate, but nobody wanted to watch him fight because he was boring as fuck. So that's kind of the
But
same
he was a
situation
champ.
there. Right, exactly. Okay, would you put Woodley in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a Hall of
Hall of
Famer. He's a Hall of Famer.
All right.
He's a Hall of Famer.
All right.
But
But you know why John Jones hasn't lost a fight? Cause you want to know why?
I know.
A little transition here with
You're
MMA,
gonna-
Dana White.
and
It's
De La
because he's
Hoya.
on that Oscar De La Hoya diet. Cause that's why he hasn't lost the fight. That's why.
Hey, Ron.
He's
don't-
expensive
don't-
type of
Hey,
guy.
that's in his past, Ron. All right, he's a Christian now.
He's a different man. He's a different man.
He's
into
cleaning
different
up-
topics.
He's cleaning up the streets of Albuquerque, and he's a Christian man, and he's changed. He's about to be the baddest man on the planet, the heavyweight champion of the
Shit.
world.
He's making it snow in that Albuquerque desert. I'll tell you that, boy.
Hey, all right, man. Well, John Jones is getting the next title shot. All right,
Remember
pretty
Chewy
much-
had it left.
That's pretty
right.
much where we're at.
What
But
else we
anyways, let's get into the card this Saturday, bro.
Let's do it.
It kind of
Hey,
took a hit.
hold up, real quick. Before you guys do a We Talking About Sports link, right? Where you send everybody a link and then they can submit their picks.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw $25 to the winner of this weekend. We Talking About Sports. Whoever does
3-0. They gotta go 3-0. They gotta go 3-0. We're making
No.
three picks.
Wait.
We're
hold
only
on,
making
hey,
three
hold on,
picks.
Hold on, chill out. Hey, whoever y'all sent the link to, whoever clicks on the link, the We Talking About Sports official MMA pick link, and has the best record will win. I mean, I'll throw in, you know what? Make it $30. Fuck it. I'll throw in $30 to whoever clicks the link and does the best record for this weekend. We Talking About Sports MMA picks.
All right. Well, we got
I'll
three
do that.
picks. So if people tie, you can. If two people tie and we go 2-1,
Yeah,
you can
I mean-
split it 15-15.
Yeah, fuck it.
But look,
Right, yeah, I mean, sorry,
our guest got
if
deep
you
pockets over here. All right, he's coming over here, donating.
No.
Yeah.
What do you do though? How many fights is there going to be on y'all's?
Three.
We Talking About
Three.
Sports link?
3 fights.
And we got 20 people picking. So that's why I think that's it 3-0, because I think several people are going to go 2-1 possibly. Somebody goes 3-0, two people go 3-0, they could split it, but not best record just because it's so 3-0. Ron's got $30. If you go 3-0, if two people go 3-0, you split 15-15. Hey, Christmas came early, all right?
Yeah,
Ron,
deal.
Ron's
Right
on the
there,
show.
right there.
Appreciate that, Ron.
Yeah, for
No,
sure.
no,
Good
no,
luck.
for sure. And then do like a reveal on y'all's next up test, man.
Yeah, we always give who's got the best record. Like this week, we recapped the two guys who did pick Frankie Edgar as a winner. But transitioning UFC on ESPN Plus, man, we got some light heavyweights headlining the card. So we're gonna start here in the light heavyweight division. Anthony Lionheart Smith, 33-15, against Alexander Rakic, Rakic, Rakic. 12-2, and he's coming out as a minus 290 favorite, man. The comeback on Lionheart Smith plus 220. We know Anthony Smith for fighting John Jones in a tough fight, taking that knee. He's been a guy fighting top 5 fighters. Unfortunately, his last fight, he fought Glover Teixeira, and Teixeira was training in the garage through the pandemic, and he ran a fucking clinic on Anthony Smith. I mean, it was a beatdown that was... It was one where we were calling the ref, like, did the ref mess up by not stopping this fight? I don't know if y'all remember that. Yeah. Anthony Smith got some teeth knocked out. He went on Helwani and he said, no, my coaches are never throwing in the towel for me, et cetera, et cetera. 3 months later, bro, after that ass beating, he's back in the octagon against a pretty dangerous fighter in Rakic, a guy who's coming in off of a loss. He did lose his last fight. It was a split decision. He lost to No Time, not Dame Time, Talking about No Time, No Time. Ozdemir, he lost a split decision to him, but Rakic is 4-1 in the UFC. KO artist, 9 KOs on his resume, 9 of his 12 wins. This dude wants to keep the fight standing up, man. Where I'm at here in this fight, I think Anthony Smith, embarrassed. Like I said, he got his ass beat 3 months ago. In the pandemic era, he's going to come back like Verdum. He's going to get the fight to the mat, and he's going to sub Rakic. So give me the big dog here, and I got Anthony Smith.
Damn it. Man, I was going to go with Anthony Smith, but I don't want to. Man, I don't know. I think I'm just going to end up, just for sake of being different here. I'm going to end up.
Fade Ben.
Yeah, I'm gonna fade Ben, not just because I'm not trusting Ben's pick. I said I wanted to pick Lionheart, but more so I can catch up on the contest and get some points because I'm a little bit behind right now. But I'm gonna trust the Vegas line, giving Rakic being a heavy favorite at almost minus 300. I think Anthony Smith, while he might want to get it to the ground, man, sometimes he just gets caught in these brawls and he just starts throwing. And I think that's going to end up happening here because he's not going to be able to get it to the ground. So give me the Rocket to get him out of here. Sorry, Anthony.
Yeah, I'm with you, Roland. Rocket's going to get the win. Vegas has the odds heavy for a reason. Anthony Smith is just, after that John Jones fight's kind of been off lately. And I expect a little more of that. So I'm going to go with a Rocket here in this situation. And I expect even a knockout here.
What and that's very possible. One of the angles that I'm taking in this one, I believe this is Rakic's first 5-round fight, bro. So he's a guy that tends to be a KO artist with the 9 KOs out of 12 fights. And I see him possibly just gassing in a 5-round fight. Anthony Smith has been in 5-round fights. So I'm expecting Rakic to gas, Anthony Smith to endure the pain with the new veneers that he got put in after getting his fucking teeth knocked out. And Ron, where are you at? Is he going to go 2-2 or 3-1? You got Rakic or Smith?
I got whoever's fighting Smith, bro, because he got embarrassed his last fight.
He did.
He's going to get his ass kicked again. I think that's what happens. I think it's another. You mentioned him earlier. The heavyweight who you said was going to be in the Hall of Fame, Weidman. I think Smith is another Weidman. He had some big moments, and I don't think that he comes out victorious again. I really think he loses his fight.
That's fair. Maybe he should stick to commentating, y'all are saying, or what?
Who, Anthony Smith or Weidman? I just don't want to hear from him.
Smith.
Oh, yeah. I don't know about that, but he just won't win this fight.
He won't win this one. All right, well, up next, the second fight that we're going to be picking in the welterweight division, a legend, a Hall of Famer. I don't think anybody here is going to debate that the man Robbie Ruthless Lawler is a Hall of Famer. 28-14, coming in against Neil, the Haitian sensation, Magny, with a 23-7 record. The line on this one, man, Magny minus 255. The comeback on Lawler plus 195. Listen, bro, Lawler's been bad. Lawler is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. We saw him get dominated by Colby. We saw him get dominated by Rafael Dos Nachos. And we saw him lose that controversial fight to Ben Askren where Herb Dean might have called it a little bit early. Tough fight, bro, because Magny can get the fight to the ground. He's a longer fighter. He's a younger fighter. Robbie Lawler really doesn't defend much takedowns. And with this line, minus 255, I took the dog in the main event. And with this one, I just got to go with the favorite. Listen, I love Robbie Lawler and his chances maybe catching Neil Magny, even though he's going to be punching up because Neil Magny has a lot of reach and he's a lot taller than Robbie Lawler. I think that this fight's going to be on the ground for the most part. And give me Neil Magny unanimous decision.
Okay. I'm going to disagree again. I'm taking Robbie Lawler. I'm going to take my shot here with the dog. I like Robbie. He is 1-4 in his last fights, but I'm going to shoot him a little bit of bail and say that, other than Askren, which I think was a crazy fight, he's been fighting the who's who for the past 5 or 7 years of his career. And I mean, whether or not you think that that's going to benefit him in this fight, or it's maybe just taking the years off of him. I mean, he is 38 regardless. He's an old guy, no matter how you want to slice it. But he's ruthless, man. He has that nickname for a reason. And I think it's going to show at least once or twice more before he decides to, give it a curtain call and say that he's done with it. I don't see him going out on such a bad streak. And give me Robbie Lawler here as a nice little underdog. Probably have never seen a line like this with Robbie. Maybe the last fight with Colby, he was an underdog. But, yeah, give me Ruthless here. Come on.
All right.
I'm with Roland here. Give me Ruthless. Here's the reason why. It's not a guy like Colby who moves and keeps a certain pace that shuts down a Robbie Lawler. This is a guy that's going to allow Robbie Lawler to throw one of these power bombs and catch him with it. So I fully expect Lawler to catch him with something heavy, drop the kid, and get it from there. Only way I can see a path to victory for Magny is if he were to just ground and pound and get him down and hold him. But man, Lawler's not the easiest guy to wrestle either. I don't see that. I'm gonna go with the dog, and I'm gonna go Ruthless on this one.
Nice, man. Nice. Look, let me get out of here, man. I don't want to ruin this awesome podcast with my technical difficulties. I'm sorry, man, that my technical difficulties are trash. But let me get out of here, man.
You don't cricket internet or what? Cuz
no, man. I don't know what it is, man. It's just I'm sorry, but
try and get your plugs. Get your plugs.
That plug is plugging.
Hey, yeah. What's your plug?
We're talking about sports. Babe, before I go, let me go. Before I get all connected again, we talking about sports. Subscribe. Justin, put the link here. Put the link here. Click on it. Subscribe. Just like my boy JOP. Hey, we talking about sports. Don't forget the contest. Click on the link. Click on their MMA link this weekend. It's going down. Thank you guys for having me on the show.
Hey, it was a pleasure.
It's all about the Cowboys, baby. Throw up the X, throw up everything. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm sorry my cameras or whatever.
He's done.
Mike
heard him. Mike throw up the X, and he's thrown in that contest. That's a contest.
That was a fun one. He was a fun guest.
No, Ron's wild, man. He's gonna be in our fantasy league, and that fool likes to trade too. So, like we mentioned earlier, if y'all want to join that fantasy league, 6 spots open. Y'all get in. But the last fight that we're gonna be picking for this week, as Ron joins us again. Ron,
I'm out. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm out.
You're good,
guys. Hey, thanks for coming in. Thanks for doing what you do.
Yeah, hey,
we're about done.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. Everybody like, subscribe, and share. Share the link, man. Share the link. Let's get this We Talking About Sports up and going, man. Peace. Peace out. Peace out.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
All right, man.
Cowboys. All right, in the women's flyweight division, man, the last fight we're going over so we can wrap this up. We're about to hit the 2-hour mark here in 10 minutes. The women's flyweight division, we got Alexa Grasso, 11-3, against Ji-Yeon Firefist Kim, 9-2-2 record. I feel like that's the way like an Asian announcer would announce it, like in the fights over there.
Hey.
Hey,
What, bro?
careful with
Appropriation here. I'm kidding.
She's a plus 240
anyone
underdog.
fighting.
Kim's a plus 240 underdog. Grasso's a Mexican. She's a big prospect, a phenom. She did take a big loss early in her career, kind of set her straight. But she's gonna win this one. Parlay Grasso and Magny minus 120, minus 119 to the bank. I got Grasso.
Oof, this is the first one that we agree with on, and I'm going Grasso too. Give me Grasso to get a bounce back.
I don't think you're getting an argument from anybody. Grasso got this. A wrap. There's a reason she's minus 320.
Consensus minus 320. Psych! But anyways, man, 3 picks this week. Last week we had 2 only. One of the fights got canceled. Listen, there's UFC events pretty much every week throughout the rest of the year. They might be taking 1 or 2 weekends off, but there's still time to catch up in this contest, especially picking dogs like AJ did. And who was the other?
Oh,
we had
shout out Raul Torres.
Raul and AJ both picking dogs. I mean, you picked up 2 points in one fight, bro. You know, you were the only 2 people that picked up points. Yeah, you joined the contest late. Pick the right dogs, pick the right favorites, and you can get up there. But that pretty much wraps up MMA for us this week, man. Any closing words y'all want to get out of here with?
Just guys, reminder, Ron is running a $30 podcast contest. The forms are out. Facebook and Twitter. Go look for our page. You can enter in. It's free to enter. Chance to go 3-0 wins you $30. If we have multiple winners, it'll be split amongst the winners. But hey, that's just more incentive to get in and get yourself off the top. At the end of the year, we're also giving away a gift card for the leader. And it won't be one of us. So you see us leading, don't worry. It's going to be one of the listeners, not one of us.
For sure.
And don't forget, we announced fantasy football coming to. We're talking about sports.
Hey, let's
have a live draft on Facebook and YouTube for the people that are joining.
100%. We're going to have a live draft. Let's just get the 12 people. Like I said, we already have 6 people. We need 6 more to get the 12-man league. If we can't get to 12 and not everybody's into fantasy football due to the COVID and, you know, the question marks around this NFL season, that's cool. But remember, guys, it is free. There might be a prize at the end. If we don't get 12, we're running with 10. But it's getting played. We talking about sports, fantasy football is getting played.
Let's do it.
Rolling last comment.
Just some last comments. Everybody join the Fantasy Football League. I'd love to beat you guys. It would make my year being able to beat some contestants and my podcast mates, because that's probably what's going to end up happening. I'm just throwing that out there, guys. Don't get your hopes up. I'm already talking. Don't get your hopes up. But no, everybody, just thanks for listening as always. We did change the podcast date a couple of weeks ago. So everybody, thanks for sticking with us through the change. And hey, just enjoy your weekend, guys. Get out there and do something fun and try and watch some sports.
For sure.
Hey, thanks for everybody who subscribed.
And Thursdays, right, guys? It's pretty much set in stone. We're going to be going on Thursdays due to the fights and people getting pulled out late in the week and football. You don't want to be giving predictions on a Monday.
Exactly.
Injury reports don't come out to the end of the week. Listen, we're going to be podcasting through Thursday Night Football. The season opener is 2 weeks away. We podcast every Thursday. So during that Texans and Chiefs game, we're going to be potting. Whether it be a live pod or maybe
Let's go live for that.
But we might go live for the season opener, do a little live pod, maybe take a couple callers for the season opener. But every Thursday, man, around midnight, the audio is going to drop. YouTube's going to drop. We're on a new software. We're upgrading. The listeners are staying consistent, and we're going to keep pumping out these episodes, man.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game.
Me. Bam, bam. Me, man.
Not a game.
Slap that like she scored 30.
We talking about sports. I mean, what we even talking about, man? We talking about sports here.